Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred on this date in years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, some music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and you are you. Today is Tuesday, aka Tuesday, January, February, March, April 18th, 2023. So let's jump into the history today, shall we? Starting us off in the year 310, we have Saint Eusebius began his reign as Catholic Pope. Okay. We also have 1506. The cornerstone of the current St. Peter's Basilica was laid in the Vatican by Pope Julius II. Wow. So that's been around for quite some time. In 1521, the Diet of Worms, Cardinal Alexander questions Martin Luther. Martin Luther, I question you. Eyebrow raise. I can't do that, but yeah. Anyway, the regulars are coming. 1775, Paul Revere and William Dawes rode from Charlestown to Lexington, warning the regulars are coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. One if by land, two if by sea. So, yeah, two. But yeah, and those were just two of many riders because there was a lot of places to go, not a lot of time, and they sent people everywhere. So, Paul Revere actually, I believe he actually didn't do any riding. He was, I think he was actually caught and arrested by the British in a tavern because he didn't do his job, and because he was arrested, maybe that's why he got so famous. I don't know, but so many other people did more work than that guy, but he just got the credit for some reason. But maybe that's wrong. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, 1783, during the American Revolution, George Washington issued General Order announcing the end of hostilities with Britain, giving thanks to the Almighty, and offering congratulations and authorizing an extra ration of alcohol to the troops to celebrate. Woo! Nice. Beer. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, the end of the revolution. They've become independent. Awesome. In 1835, William Lamb, Lord Melbourne, became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom after Robert Peel resigned out of frustration. Huh. Okay. Got some military history here. In 1861, Colonel Robert E. Lee turned down an offer to command Union armies, just prior to, or I guess during the Civil War, and he at one point defected because he became Confederate. So, yep. We got a victory in battle in 1865. Confederate General Joseph E. Johnston surrendered to General William T. Sherman in North Carolina. Yeah, William Tecumseh Sherman. 1874, David Livingstone, the African explorer, was buried in Westminster Abbey. Yep, we spoke about that yesterday. His body was being transported. And I know there's a lot I'm missing in these non-highlighted sections, so I please urge you, go check out our sources. There's a lot of interesting things happen, like in 1869, the first international cricket match was held in San Francisco, won by California. Oh, well, hey, California, look at that. See, if I hadn't started randomly talking about that, and I wouldn't have seen that. In 1899, John McGraw, at the age of 26, had his managerial debut as Oriole manager. Oh, okay. Yeah, while that was happening in 1899 as well, St. Andrew's Ambulance Association was granted a royal charter by Queen Victoria. All right. And we also have 1906, San Francisco earthquake and fire killed nearly 4,000 while destroying 75% of the city. Oh, this is the Great Quake of 1906. Happened on this date. Wow. I didn't even know that. That was a major disaster. And what did they do over all the land that liquefied because it was filled in? It used to be actually sea, used to actually physically be the ocean. They just literally, built over it, and there's still skeletons and such down in there, never removed. They just literally bulldozed everything. They didn't bother to look for bodies or anything for the most part. It was just awful. And now it's built up for more disaster. I mean, look at that one tower that has a lean, the huge apartment tower, which I laughed when I heard about that. I shed no tears for the wealthy. 1908, Canadian champion Tommy Burns knocked out Dewey Smith of England in fifth round at Newley Bowling Palace, Paris, to retain his world heavyweight title. What a name, Dewey Smith. That sounds like a nickname. That sounds like an insult. Like, I don't know. Anyway, 1912, Cunard liner RMS Carpathia brought 705 survivors from the RMS Titanic to New York City. Yep, the Titanic sunk a couple days ago. So I guess yesterday was the anniversary of when Carpathia picked them up. Or no, it was the same day as the sinking. They sank in the early morning, and then 6 hours later, the Carpathia came. I don't know. Anyway, 1916, Edith Wharton was appointed Chevalier of the Legion of Honor, France's highest award, for her contribution to the war effort. Huh. Oh, I guess that has to be during World War I. All right. She's a novelist. I wonder what she did. I present that as a challenge to you viewers. What did Edith Wharton do as an author for France during the First World War? Let us know in the comment section. Anyway, 1918, Cleveland center fielder Tris Speaker turned an unassisted double play. All right. Moving on up to, here we go. This is cool. 1924, the first crossword puzzle book was published by Simon & Schuster. Cool. 1925, the World's Fair opened in Chicago. And then we got the 31st Boston Marathon in 1927, was won by Clarence DeMar in 2 hours, 40 minutes, 22.2 seconds. His fifth victory in the event. Awesome. 1927 as well, Chiang Kai-shek formed anti-government in China. I don't think that's true. He was the government in China before the Communist Revolution. So, this sounds like Chinese propaganda right there. Which doesn't surprise me because this source is leftist. So, 1934, Adolf Hitler named Joachim von Ribbentrop ambassador for disarmament. Okay. 1939, Franz von Papen became German ambassador in Turkey. Hey, somebody's Bostoning here. They're going around walking down the street with broad shoulders and a coffee and a donut. Hey, I'm Boston. Where can I get some pasta? I gotta get my quota back. Anyway, 1942, James Doolittle bombed Tokyo and other Japanese cities. Oh yeah, the Doolittle raid. Yep, that's right. A couple weeks back or so, I remember reporting on when they left San Francisco on the aircraft carriers and such. The Doolittle raid, very, very ballsy and everything. They modified bombers to they lightened the load, reduced their fuel, got rid of most of the guns, and just put in broom handle. Literally, they put in broom handle sticks painted black to make it look like guns. But just to have enough lightweight to take off from an aircraft carrier, because those runways were like half of the minimum distance required for a normal bomber to take off without its load. Keep in mind, these guys were carrying bombs, so they had to do some weight distribution, Tetris mathematics, so to speak. Anyway, 1943, Operation Vengeance, U.S. Army Air Force P-83 or P-38G fighter aircraft from Kukum Field on Guadalcanal ambushed and shot down the transport bomber aircraft of Isoroku Yamamoto, the commander-in-chief of the Imperial Japanese Navy and mastermind behind the Pearl Harbor attack. We got him, boys! 1944, Leonard Bernstein and Jerome Robbins' ballet Fancy Free premiered in New York City. Okay. Hey, we got some sports history here. 1946, Jackie Robinson debuted as second baseman for the Montreal Royals. Yep, Jackie Robinson. We spoke about him yesterday. Great baseball player, not just for skill, but for what he did. For everybody to get into that game. So, 1946, U.S. recognized Tito's Yugoslavia government. Yeah. All right. 1953, revival of Richard Rodgers and Lawrence Hart's musical Paul Joey, starring Harold Lang and Vivian Segal, closed at Broadhurst Theater in New York City after 540 performances, winning 3 Tony Awards. Cool. 1 year later, 1954, Egyptian Colonel Gamal Abdel Nasser seized power and appointed himself prime minister. Not good. Oh, here's something interesting. 1955, the first walk, don't walk lighted street signs or street signals were installed. So whenever you go to an intersection with like what is it, traffic lights and everything, and sometimes even not even with traffic lights. There's a button there you push, you wait for the little man to appear. You don't want to walk with the hand there. Wow, 1955 then. Walk, don't walk, don't walk sign, 1955. Let's see what they look like back then. Images. Huh. That's interesting. Walk, don't walk. I wonder, like if this is it. It's really small. All right. Well, I guess I'll present that as another challenge for the viewer. What did they actually look like? Let's move on up here. 1958, a United States federal court ruled that poet Ezra Pound is to be released from an insane asylum. Okay. We also have baseball record 1964. LA Dodgers pitcher Sandy Koufax struck out the side on 9 pitches for Major League best third time in his career. Dang. Nice. Here we go. 1966, Bill Russell became the first black U.S. coach in NBA history for the Boston Celtics. Awesome. Talking about Jackie Robinson, talking about Bill Russell, a lot of doors are being blown off their hinges, on this date in history. Really cool. We got 1972, revival of Kurt Weill and Maxwell Anderson's musical Lost in the Stars, based on the novel Cry the Beloved Country by Alan Paton, opened at Imperial Theater in New York City, running for 39 performances. By the way, Alice, I know you're watching or listening. Wait, what are you saying about the title? We don't know in TDH history for the title. Oh, walk, don't walk in TDH history for the title. Okay. No, the other day, because you know how a lot of these plays have gone on to for 3 to 4 some odd thousand performances. The other day we reported on, and it happened in this year, so it was actually on this day, not last year, but today, 2023. The Phantom of the Opera was at 13,000 or something, or 23. It was in the double digits thousands of performances, and that blew my mind. Anyway, let's move on up to 1973. The U.S. government ended mandatory oil import program established in 1959 by President Eisenhower. All right. So, becoming more oil independent, which we're not today. So, 1975, John Lennon gave what became his final public performance at a gala salute, to British media mogul Lou Grade, and at the Grand Ballroom of the Hilton Hotel in New York City. He performed 3 songs: Little Richard's Slippin' and Slidin', and Benny King's Stand By Me, and closed with his own Imagine. All right. 1977, Alex Haley, author of Roots, awarded Pulitzer Prize. Hell yeah, we spoke about him the other day. I don't exactly remember what we said, but we were talking about Roots or something. 1977, Eddie Murray hit his first home run. All right. 1977, musical review, Side by Side by Sondheim, opened at Music Box, New York City, ran for 390 performances. Every time I see this guy, he looks like Scott. He's like an older Scott with a bushier beard. I don't know. Anyway, event of interest here. 1983, Pulitzer Prize was awarded to Alice Walker for her novel The Color Purple. That's another good book right there. In 1987, Mike Schmidt hit 500th home run versus Robinson Pirates. All right. 1988, 92nd Boston Marathon. Ibrahim Hussein of Kenya won men's race in 2 hours, 8 minutes, 43 seconds. Rosa Mota of Portugal repeated as women's champion in 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 30 seconds. All right, once again, talking about Kenyans just dominating. So, yeah. 1988, Barbra Streisand recorded Warm All Over. All right. 1991, John Stockton broke his own NBA season assist record at 1,136. All right. We got another Boston Marathon, the 98th one in 1994. Cosmos Nate of Kenya, not surprising, won second straight title in 2 hours, 7 minutes, 15 seconds. Uda Pippig of Germany claims women's race in 2 hours, 21:45. All right. 1994 as well. Arsenio Hall announced he will end his late-night talk TV show in May of 1994. All right. Oh, hey, that's the guy who was in Coming to America. He was the servant guy. 1994, cricketer Brian Lara hit 375 runs on one day for Wisconsin versus England. Wisconsin? to beat Gary Sober's world record. WI is Wisconsin, right? Like, I'm not even like making a joke because Alice is watching. Like, I'm just like, what is WI? WI versus England. I don't know. Anyway, 1994 as well. Former U.S. President Richard Nixon suffered a stroke and passed away 4 days later. Ooh, that's rough. All right. That's yeah. Sayonara, to this guy who opened up trade relations with China and is the reason why we're in that mess we're in today. And he's also, pushed more of the U.S. dollar off the gold standard. So Richard Nixon, tricky dick, really really pounded this nation really hard. So 1995, quarterback Joe Montana announces retirement from football. All right. 1998, NFL Draft, Tennessee quarterback Peyton Manning, first pick by Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, the guy with the ever-growing forehead. He's apparently stored every play he's ever done, up in there. And it's just, if you actually see, like, his forehead does get bigger. Like, Peyton Manning forehead evolution. Oh, God. No, hold on. Some of these, that's not true. Oh my God! Okay, I gotta show these to Doom Guy, but side by side. Okay, yeah, here we go. And that's his actual head right now. Like, I don't think that's photoshopped there. So I don't know what happened, but it's like it actually really has expanded. So anyway, moving on up. 1999, Wayne Gretzky played his last game in the NHL as his New York Rangers lost 2-1 to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh, that's a crap way to go out, especially for somebody like him, going out on a loss. Ugh, but hey, he's still regarded as one of the greatest players of all time, Wayne Gretzky. Him and Mike Bossy. So, wow, I'm learning more. I'm learning everything I know about hockey just from doing this show. And before I didn't give a flying F. Darn you, Alice, for forcing me to interest something into I don't care about. 2010 45th Academy Country Music Awards. Carrie Underwood, Brad Paisley, and Miranda Lambert won. We got a film premiere in 2013, Iron Man 3, directed by Shane Black, starring Robert Downey Jr. and Gwyneth Paltrow, premiered in London. All right. 2013, 28th Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees: Hart, Albert King, Randy Newman, Public Enemy, Rush. Rash. That sounds like acid rock. Donna Summer, Quincy Jones, and Lou Adler. So I wonder if there is a band named Rash now. And why does Mike Dirnt look so sad? 2015, 30th Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees: the Paul Butterfield Blues Band, Green Day, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, Lou Reed, Stevie Ray Vaughan and the Double Trouble, Bill Withers, the Five Royals, and Ringo Starr. It took Ringo Starr that long to get into that? Okay. 2016, talking about, people with long foreheads. This guy has a long neck. I've spoken about him before. Loris World Sports Awards, Palais at Am Funkturm, Berlin, Germany. Sportsman Novak Djokovic. Sportswoman Serena Williams. Team New Zealand Men's National Rugby Union Team. All right. 2017, Portuguese superstar Cristiano Ronaldo became first player to score 100 goals in the Champions League with a hat trick in Real Madrid's 4-2 win over Bayern Munich. Okay. Every time I see this picture of Lady Gaga, it just unsettles me. She looks like something out of Area 51. 2020, Together at Home, virtual benefit concert for the World Health Organization's Kung Flu Solidarity Response Fund, curated by Lady Gaga. 6-hour pre-show streams online, followed by 2-hour global telecast. Performers included Andra Day, Common, The Killers, Charlie Puth, John Legend, Jennifer Hudson, Annie Lennox, and Zucchero. So those are all people you know to avoid because they all supported the pandemic. So 2022, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa declared a national state of disaster after floods and mudslides in Durban area resulted in over 400 deaths and destroyed over 4,000 homes. Yikes. And 2022 as well, a U.S. federal judge ruled as unlawful Biden administration's mandate that masks be worn on public transportation. Oh, thank you. And anyway, before moving on to Burst and Death's audience, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? It's a 5-head. It is a 5-head. Any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything you wish we had, expanded, or elaborated more about? Anything you would have liked to say had you been here? Start a dialogue in the comment section. And once again, I implore you to go to our sources, check the underbar of the description, read this stuff. So much interesting, not just significant, but just wild and weird stuff happens every day on a historical level. You just gotta look. Anyway, moving on in the burst, starting us off in 1480, we have Lucrezia Borgia, an Italian noblewoman, daughter of Pope Alexander VI, born in Subacchio, Lazio, Papal States. Alright. And we also got Samuel P. Huntington, 1927. That's one hell of a time jump there. A U.S. political scientist, the clash of civilizations, and presidential advisor, born in New York City, New York. And then we have Robert Hansen, 1954, a U.S. FBI agent and Soviet spy, born in Chicago, Illinois. Alright. James Woods, 1947, a U.S. actor, Salvador against all odds, born in Vernal, Utah. James Woods. He was a villain in Family Guy. So we got Nate Archibald, 1948, an NBA guard in Cincinnati, born in New York City, New York. And John James Jingleheimer Smith, hey, that's my name too. 1956, a U.S. actor, Jeff Colby in Dynasty, born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Conan O'Brien, 1963, a U.S. TV host, late night, born in Brookline, Massachusetts. And I don't remember, Gaga is Area 52. I agree. I better watch out. I gotta stop slamming Lady Gaga so much. She'll sue me for defamation. But no, Conan O'Brien was in this B movie about sharks or something, and then somehow he got decapitated. It was hilarious. Anyway, David Tennant. Ooh, wow, 1971, Scottish actor. He was in Doctor Who as well as Broadchurch. Born in Bathgate, Scotland. All right, David Tennant. Happy birthday. He's 52 today. Andrew Nugg. How do you pronounce that? Nug? I don't know. NG. Newgrounds? Andrew Newgrounds. 1976, British-born U.S. computer scientist, Google brain, Baidu, Stanford, born in United Kingdom. Melissa Joan Hart, 1976, U.S. actress, Clarissa. Clarissa Explains It All? And Sabrina, born in Smithtown, New York. Hold on a second. Clarissa Explains It All. And hold on, do I have a live chat? Me 5-head taking Gaga. Oh God. Clarissa Explains It All. Yeah, that was Melissa Joan Hart. Well, look at that. That's cool. All right. That was one of my favorite shows growing up. Anyway, moving on up into death, starting us off in 1161, we have Theobald of Bec, Archbishop of Canterbury, died at 71. We also have, as we said earlier, Isoroku Yamamoto, 1943, Japanese World War II Marshal Admiral and Commander-in-Chief of the Japanese fleet who led the attack on Pearl Harbor, killed in action at the age of 59 by a U.S. ambush after the magic code breaking team intercepted and decoded his flight plan. Yep, we shot him down. We got him, boys. Albert Einstein, 1955, German-born theoretical physicist and Nobel laureate, theory of relativity, E equals mc squared. Died of an abnormal aortic aneurysm. Abdominal. Why can't I read today? At the age of 76. That sounds painful. But interesting thing about Albert Einstein, his birth date, the month and day, not the year, but the recurring calendar date, is the same date that later on Stephen Hawking died on. So, that was wild, last year when we first read that, because we got the birth of one chapter of science, and then the end of another chapter of science throughout 2 generations. That was wild. Anyway, moving on up to 2022, we have Thor Heyerdahl, a Norwegian anthropologist and explorer, Kon-Tiki and Aku Aku, died of a brain tumor at 87. Ugh. That's awful. That's one of my worst fears, is getting a brain tumor. Those are Dick Clark, 2012, U.S. radio and television personality, U.S. American bandstand, died from a heart attack at 82. Bruno Sammartino, an Italian U.S. strongman and professional wrestler, died at 82. Lorraine Warren, 2019, U.S. paranormal investigator, Amityville haunting, died in her sleep at 92. It sounds like she was taken. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. Please go check out everything. Please. Especially, you know what? More important than anything, go check out our history sources. Go check it out, please. Anyway, for your dose of Passive and Stanley, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 11 Mountain, 12 Central, and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am E.O. Xander, and you, of course, are you. Until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in some notable events, weather, and sports, the Omni Coalition News Show Talkness is coming up at 2 p.m. Pacific Time. So, until whenever you see us, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!